baby. Today we're going to take a look at the Charter Arms Bulldog. This is the .44 caliber, and this is really one of Charter Arms' premier firearm designs. The company was started in 1973, and the Bulldog was also introduced in 1973. In the mid-70s to mid-80s, the Charter Bulldog was one of the most popular handguns sold in the United States. Now, a lot of that had to do with it being such a small firearm, easy to conceal, and yet had the power of a .44 Special. And that really is a really small package for such a large caliber. An excellent combination. Now, Charter Arms has been in and out of business since 1973 and has just recently come back into business and really is putting out some really nice products. This is one of the older models, but it's still a really fine pistol. It does have a 5-shot cylinder, and of course, obviously, it's safety checked. The cylinder itself, and you can see those holes, they are very large. Even looking down the bore of this pistol, it's just really intimidating. Of course, the recoil on it is pretty stiff. For this size pistol, it only weighs 19 ounces. Now, according to Charter Arms' website, the pistols they're making now are 21 ounces. Now, this is the Classic. In fact, Charter Arms has just recently reintroduced the Classic. The Classic is 3 inches. The new ones have a 2.5 inch with a shroud that comes down and protects this ejector rod. It does come in a blue, and it also comes in stainless, but even in the blue finish, it's still a stainless frame. This pistol here, I'm sure, is just blue steel, but those are the new designs of the Charter Arms. There are some double action onlys with a hammer that's recessed, and then there is a tiger stripe version, but you can look at these all on the Charter Arms website. In fact, they even put out a 4-inch and a 5-inch target model. And what's really surprising is the accuracy with this pistol. To be honest with you, and a lot of that has to do with the trigger pull. It has a very smooth trigger pull. And I'm going to go ahead and show you, even on double action, it's a very smooth and quick trigger. On single action, very crisp, very nice. This does feature the walnut grips with the old Charter Arms logo. The new pistols have neoprene grips with the soft rubber. To be honest with you, I think that's a good combination with the soft rubber, because the recoil on this is a bit snappy, and it's all to do with the size of the round that you're sending down range. But it's not uncontrollable. In fact, it wasn't bad at all. It's a favorite for concealment, and it's really fairly smooth. Of course, you're going to have your hammer spur here, but on the double action you wouldn't. But all the edges are fairly rounded, and it makes it really nice. The cylinder does have a little bit of an edge to it. It does have a hammer block safety, as you can see here. That way you can keep the chamber fully loaded, and that if the gun drops on the hammer block will keep it from firing. It's actually purported that this is the quickest lockup time for any revolver. And believe me, it really does have a quick lockup for secondary shots. This also has fewer parts than most revolvers. In fact, the frame itself is one piece. There's not a side plate like on the Smith & Wesson. It's just one solid piece with fewer pieces. And what that does is it just helps with reliability. There are less parts that can fail. Now, the .44 Special is really close to more like a .45 Long Colt or the .45 ACP. And a lot of shooters that shoot .44 Magnum shoot the .44 Special for a lesser recoil, more of a training round. So these are very plentiful. They're great. This is actually from Georgia Arms. It's a 200 grain, just lead round nose. I'll tell you, they actually feed better with high velocity, smaller bullets rather than a 230 or 240 grain bullet. This revolver is double and single action. And double action is when you pull and it makes the hammer actually come back and actuates the hammer. Single action is to draw the hammer back and then fire. A lot of people use the single action more for target. And if you'll notice, when you're doing the double action, you've got a lot of leeway here. Single action, you pull it back, you can get it on target and fire. This is the cylinder catch here. Push it down, it releases the cylinder. It spins, and then to release the cartridges, you push this out, and this will release the brass out of the back once fired. Of course, it's real easy to load a revolver just into the cylinder. There are speed loaders to make this much quicker. But one of the things about a revolver is that if you have a misfire, you can continue to pull the trigger until it fires. The front sight is actually soldered onto the barrel. The new designs, it's a one-piece deal. There's just a rear notch at the back, and this is made more for a concealment piece to keep it low snag. But still, you get a fairly decent sight picture. This was actually added later, this little paint here, but it really does help with the visibility. The walnut grip, it completely surrounds the grip of the gun. And really, it's very smooth, and it really rides nice in the hand. One of the things that I do like about having wood grips is it doesn't snag on clothing as much as a rubber grip would. Also, the barrel on the Charter Arms is not pinned. It's actually screwed into the frame to give it better strength and durability. The grip has nice checkering here, not very aggressive, but enough to give you a little bit of teeth here to grab hold of. And then, of course, you can see the old Charter Arms logo. I really like the 44 Special in the Bulldog, but it also comes in a 357 Magnum, which would be very nice as well. For this size and this price, this is really the only game on the market for a really large bore revolver that's very concealable. Now, for size comparison, I wanted to bring out my Smith & Wesson Centennial 442 38 Special 5-shot. Let's just take a look at the profile. Really, except for a little longer barrel, and really now they're making these in 2.5 inch, I think you're going to find that there's not really that much difference. There is a difference in weight though. This is an alloy frame, which makes it super lightweight, while this has either the blued steel in the older versions or a blued stainless or stainless. So we have 19 ounces on the Bulldog, 15 ounces on the Smith & Wesson. Really not a huge difference. Of course, one thing to consider is you're going to have 5 rounds of 38 plus P versus 5 rounds of 44 Special. 200 grains versus 158 grains. Now, the Charter Bulldog became infamous because of the use of this weapon with Son of Sam. He was also called the 44 caliber killer. And where that's not really a high pedigree for this pistol, it did show that it was very effective. If you're looking for a nice, small 5-shot revolver, but you really want something with a little more oomph, I think you're going to really like the Charter Arms Bulldog, whether in 44 Special or 357 Magnum. An excellent revolver. And as always, thanks for watching. Please subscribe for more fun gun reviews and sensible survival. God bless America. Long live the Republic. That's one more Hoss.